Most salespeople are misreading their pipeline, not because they're not paying attention, but because the signals they're relying on don't actually mean what they think they mean. Interest isn't intent. Questions aren't progress. Engagement doesn't mean a decision is coming. And if you've read those signals the wrong way, you could end up investing time in accounts that were never going anywhere. Let me show you what that looks like in practice. A few years ago, we were working on a large prospect account, the kind that gets people excited. Serious numbers on the table if it came off. After a lot of back and forth, which, looking back on it, should have been a warning sign in itself, they finally came on board. Then the real work started, or at least what felt like work. They wanted a special product range, something we didn't do for anyone else, but the numbers they were promising were so significant that we went along with it. Then came weeks of discussions about the showroom display, more meetings, more calls, more back and forth about things that should have been straightforward. Throughout all of it, I'll be honest, people were getting increasingly concerned about the lack of real progress, but the prize felt so big that we kept convincing ourselves it would all work out in the end. And this went on for 3 months. Then one day they told us they decided to go with another supplier. I felt physically sick. That's not a figure of speech. I had a real physical reaction, as if I'd suffered a huge personal loss. But the thing is, we hadn't lost any money. We'd never had a single penny of revenue from that account. What I was reacting to, I think, was the realization that we'd lost something far more valuable than a sale. 3 months of time that could have been spent on accounts that were actually going somewhere. That's what false signals cost you. Not just a deal that was never really there, but all of the real opportunities that didn't get the attention they deserved while you were chasing something that was never going to move. You see this constantly in B2B sales. The account that engages warmly every visit, but never actually buys. The deal that's been nearly ready for 4 months. The prospect who keeps asking questions, keeps showing interest, keeps moving the goalposts, and never makes a decision. From the outside, it looks like progress. It feels like something's building. But unless there's a genuine reason for them to act, nothing moves. So the question to ask isn't, how do I move this forward? It's, has anything actually changed? Because once you start asking that question honestly, you begin to see what's real and what just looks like it. There are 5 things that determine whether an opportunity is genuinely real. And if you can't get a confident answer to all 5, the opportunity isn't as strong as it looks. First, is there a genuine reason for this to happen now? Not eventually, now. Is there something driving a decision in the near term? Or is the account comfortable staying exactly where it is? Are you connected to everyone who influences the decision? In most B2B sales, there's more than one person involved. If you're only talking to one of them, you don't have full visibility of where the decision is actually going. Third, does the buyer genuinely prefer your solution? Not just they seem to like us. Does the person making the decision really want what you're offering, or are they just keeping their options open? Fourth, does this work financially for both sides? Not just your margin. Does the investment make commercial sense for them? If the numbers don't work for the buyer, the deal won't close, no matter how strong your relationship is. Fifth, are you in control of the process or just along for the ride? Do you know the next step? Do you know when the decision will be made and what it depends on? Or are you just waiting to hear back? If you apply those 5 questions to the live opportunities in your pipeline right now, something usually becomes clear very quickly. Some of the deals you've been working on aren't really deals at all. They're relationships, they're conversations, they're accounts that are engaged but have no real reason to move. Meanwhile, some of your other accounts have a genuine potential that you haven't been given the time to properly develop. Most salespeople have never been shown how to look at their pipeline in this way. Once you do, it changes what you work on and how you spend your time. I worked with a sales team a few years ago. They were all good people, very experienced and hard-working. When we applied everything I've covered in this series to their territory, the numbers that came back were ones that none of them expected. That's the next video. If you've recognised anything in this series so far, you'll want to see how it plays out.